नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And we are in the 11th chapter, Universal Form, Viswarupa. We finished 15 slokas. In this chapter, we are going to understand a lot about Krishna's universal form. Thanks to Arjuna. Because Arjuna asked Krishna to show his universal form and Krishna showed his universal form. And now Arjuna is actually explaining how Krishna's universal form looks like to Krishna himself. That's what we started studying. So that way we are able to understand Krishna's universal form fully. Krishna said in the 10th chapter, no one knows me. Name vidugu. Suraganaga prabhavam na maharishayagam. Even the demigods or maharishis, no one knows me. Aham adirgi devanam maharishinam cha sarvasagam. So I am the beginning, I am the Adir. So that's why Govindam Adi Purusham. So Adir, Krishna is saying that Aham Adirgi Devanam Maharishinam cha Sarvasaka. That's why Lord Brahma is glorifying Krishna there, Govindam Adi Purusham. So Krishna is the Adir, means the original supreme personality of Godhead, original person, the beginning. Adi means the beginning. So Krishna is the beginning of everyone. Krishna is the beginning of everything. If we just understand that Krishna has no beginning for himself, then we are relieved from all sinful reactions. Yomam ajam anadim cha veti loka mageswaram asamudaga samartyesu sarva papaigi pramuchade. So sarva papaigi pramuchade. From all sins we will be freed. We will be freed from all sins as soon as we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Just by knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are freed from all sins. Just by knowing Krishna is everything. So that's what Krishna is saying there. Sarva papaigi pramuchari. So Krishna, just by knowing that Krishna is the enjoyer of all offerings, Krishna is the Sarvaloka Maheswaram, Krishna is the proprietor of all, Krishna is the enjoyer and the proprietor of all these worlds, and Krishna is the well-wisher of everyone. So just by knowing this, we will get peace of mind. Nyatva mam santim richadi. Just by knowing this, we are going to get peace of mind. So peace of mind comes just by knowing that Krishna is everything. So that means if we know about Krishna, we are going to get peace of mind. If we know about Krishna, we will be freed from this material veil, material bondage. If we know about Krishna, we will be freed from all sinful reactions. Sarva papaihi pramuchyati. If we know about Krishna. If we know about Krishna, we are going to get peace of mind. So, that way we have to just know about Krishna. That's what is very important. If we just know about Krishna, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvadaga tyaktva degam punarjanmanayeti mameti so Arjuna. So just if we know about the transcendental appearance and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, then when we give up this body, we are not going to get another material body. So punarjanmanayeti mameti so Arjuna. So all these things we need to just know about Krishna, that's it. If you know Krishna, know about Krishna means if you know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is everything. Krishna is the God of gods, Krishna is the Lord of lords, and Krishna is everything, Deva Deva, Jagatpadi. So that's what we need to know. Gatir, Bharta, Prabhu, Sakshi, Nivasaga, Saranam, Sugurtu, Prabhavaga, Pralayaga, Sthanam, Nidanam, Bijam, Avyayam. That's what we need to know. There is so much we are understanding in Bhagavad Gita to know about Krishna himself. To know about Krishna, we are able to, we are getting all the knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. So just by getting this knowledge, understanding this Bhagavad Gita very well, and knowing that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is seated in our heart and everyone's heart as the super soul, we are freed. We are freed from all sins. We are freed from this material bondage. And we won't be forced to accept another material body just by knowing about Krishna. And how we can know about Krishna? Only by studying Bhagavad Gita. Only by studying and understanding Bhagavad Gita fully, all the chapters, all the slokas, if we understand completely, then we know about Krishna. But Krishna has given us that opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita. Every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita. We are understanding. We are knowing about Krishna. We are understanding about Krishna. So that means we are going to be freed from all sinful reactions. So that means we are going to get everlasting peace of mind. So that means after we give up this body, we won't come back. If fortunately, if we are able to remember Krishna at the time of death, if you know about Krishna completely, that means we should remember Krishna at the time of death. That's what is very important. But as Krishna also says that for us to surrender unto him completely, it needs many births, many lifetimes, basically. So, but we are on the right track. That's what is very important. We are progressing. We are going towards Krishna. We are approaching Krishna. There is no doubt. We are traveling. There is prayanam. Prayanam means it's traveling to Krishna. So this is the path. We are going towards Krishna. In this material life, we are actually progressing towards Krishna by giving up all the material sense objects, attachment to the material sense objects with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way we are able to make progress. That's what is very important. So that means our mind is getting tuned. Our mind is getting cleansed. If with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding all the slokas. So that means we are connected with Krishna every day. And at this point of time, we are very effectively spending our time in connecting ourselves with Krishna. That is what is known as Yukta. Yukta means connecting with Krishna. That means regulating our activities. So Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya. When one is not connected with Krishna, that means one who is not able to regulate all the activities. So that means Nasti Buddhi, the intelligence is lost. For us, at least right now, Krishna's causeless mercy. Every day we are gaining intelligence because we are connected with Krishna. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. We are fully focusing only on Krishna only, no one else. At this point of time, we are not thinking about anyone else, not thinking about anything in this world. We are thinking about only Krishna. That's it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, so that means we are progressing towards Krishna. Yeyata mam prabhatyante tam sateva bhajamyagam. To the extent one surrenders unto me, to that extent, I also surrender unto him. I also worship him. I also reward him. That's what Krishna is saying. So that way, by doing this practice, this sadhana every day, this studying Bhagavad Gita, following what Krishna says, and then chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then making prasadam and offering unto Krishna. So by doing all this sadhana every day, so we are getting always in contact with Krishna. We are forgetting about everything in this material world, material sense objects. And we are doing all these things only for Krishna. So that way our life is getting purified and we are able to effectively use this life in Krishna's service. That's what it's very, very important for us. Getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that way we know what to do, what not to do. We know how to act. As Krishna says that we should be able to give up the attachment to the results of our activities, because we ourselves are very much attached to Krishna. So we really don't worry about anything in this material world. We really don't worry. That is the main thing. We are not worried. We are not concerned about anything because our goal is only to please Krishna. That's it. So that way, by Krishna's costless mercy, we will get the strength, power, knowledge, memory, everything what we need actually to achieve our goal. That is Krishna. That is Goloka. So we are all going to die, there is no doubt. But before that, we should do as much service to Krishna as possible so that we can actually move much closer to Krishna. And Krishna's mercy is always there upon us. That's why we are able to progress. That's why we are able to study Bhagavad Gita, understand all the slokas, and we are able to continue. We are able to continue to make progress every day by studying this Bhagavad Gita, by understanding everything. This Bhagavad Gita gives the answer for all the questions. Anything you ask, we can get from Bhagavad Gita. Only thing we need to understand very nicely this Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, it is Krishna's songs. This Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's songs. So it gives us so much enjoyment, so much happiness when we listen to Krishna's songs, this Bhagavad Gita. We need to just, all the questions asked by Arjuna, if we understand, then finally we understand it as Krishna asked Arjuna whether he understood everything, whether he has any more questions. So like that for us also, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita fully the way Arjuna understood, so then we will not have any more questions. We will know what is Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Jnaya, everything. So many questions. Arjuna is asking very, very nice questions actually. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya kesava sthitadi kim prabhaseta kim masita vrajeta kim. In the second chapter, sloka number 54, Arjuna asked that question. Because Arjuna asked 4 questions in one sloka, Krishna took 18 slokas to answer all his questions completely. So the main question is that Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means whose intelligence is very well established, who has got steady intelligence. So that's what known as Sthita Prajna. So if you go through all those answers actually, so much of science Krishna is teaching us. So much of science. And in that Krishna is very clearly saying that we will be able to receive Krishna's mercy only when we don't have any attachment or aversion to material sense objects. If our mind is attached to the material sense objects, if we are thinking about the sense objects, then we cannot receive Krishna's mercy. So we should give up all our attachment to material sense objects. That's what is very, very important. That way, we should just do all our activities only for Krishna as an offering unto Krishna with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So then only it is possible for us. Because Krishna is asking us that you surrender all your works unto me. Everything. Mahi sarvani karmani sannyasyadhyatma chetasa nirasi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraga. So all your work. Mahi sarvani karmani. So all the karmani, all the activities. Sarvani means everything. All the activities. So all the activities sannyasyadhyatma chetasa. Mahi means unto me. Unto me. You do offer everything unto me. You do everything for me. That's what Krishna is saying. So we should not be doing any work for anyone. We should do everything only for Krishna. That's what is very important. All the work, all the service, anything what we do, it should be done only for Krishna, only for Govinda. So how can we ensure that we are doing only for Krishna? We know just now we studied that all the works, everything we should do only for Krishna. But how can we make sure that we are doing only for Krishna? That is just by doing what all Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. That's it. So make a list of all the actions what Krishna is asking us to do. Krishna is asking us, do this, do this, do this. Krishna is, so many times Krishna is, many slokas, in all the chapters, almost everywhere Krishna is saying that Krishna is giving tasks. Krishna is giving service to us. He's asking us to do this, do this, do this, like that. We just have to do that. That's it. What Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, just do it. That's it. Niyatam kuru karmatvam means you perform the prescribed duties. So that means only do the prescribed duties. Don't do anything else. As per Shastra. Durenege avaram karma. That means keep all abominable activities at a far distant. So that's it. So durenege avaram karma. So do everything as an offering unto me. So everything do it for Krishna. Manasamyamya machitto. Think about me and control your mind. Manmana. Bhavamat bhakto. Madhyaji. Mam namaskuru. So Krishna is saying so many things. Krishna is asking us to do a lot of things. Even in one sloka itself, that sloka Krishna repeated twice. In the 9th chapter, 34th sloka, and 18th chapter, 65th sloka, Krishna has repeated that same sloka. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your obeisances unto me. So all these things, Krishna is asking us to do a lot of things. Always think about me. Do everything for me. Yatkarosi, tatkuruso madarpanam. Whatever you do it as an offering unto me. So that way, Krishna is asking us to do a lot of things in Bhagavad Gita. Do this, do this, do this. Like that, so many things Krishna has given. So all the to-do tasks, to-do list. So we need to write it down and just do what Krishna says. That's what is very important. And gain the qualifications to free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. Because Arjuna asks very nice questions, excellent questions. Like how can I find out the self-realized person? What are the symptoms of a self-realized person? How does he sit? How does he walk? What does he speak? What is his language? So like that, so many questions. Arjuna asks very, very nice questions. How can I find out when a person has transcended the three modes of material nature? What are the qualifications? What are the qualities by which I can find out if a person is freed from the modes of nature? These are very important questions. Very, very important questions. So, but we need to understand all the answers. We need to just follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That's what is very important. So if we just follow what Krishna says, all these to-do lists, to-do tasks, if we just understand this Bhagavad Gita fully and in our life do everything only for Krishna, so then our life is actually really very nicely spent, very effectively used. It's very important. Then we will not have any attachments on anything in this material world. We won't be bothered by anything in this material world. We won't be disturbed by anything in this material world. So that's what is very important. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge only helps us. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge only helps us to understand and realize that each and everyone is actually forced to act by the three modes of material nature. We understand only from this Bhagavad Gita. That means when we are angry or someone is angry, we should know that that person is really not angry because he is attached to material sense objects, and because of that the mode of passion has taken control over that person. So that's why he is angry. That's why he has desires. He has karma. So all such things we understand from Bhagavad Gita. That's what is very important. But we ourselves should not have any attachment to anything in this material world. We should not be like hankering for anything. We should not be longing for anything. If at all we want anything, it should be only Krishna's service, only Krishna. Love, only Krishna's love. That's what we want, nothing else. So all such things are possible when we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we wear the eyes of knowledge. So then we will be able to see things as they are. Then we will know, we will be able to see how the three modes of material nature are acting on everyone, how it is forceful, how forcefully it is acting on everyone. We will understand everything. If we get the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's what we are getting. Every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding Bhagavad Gita. So that means we are getting this knowledge. Now we will be able to understand how three modes of material nature are acting on everyone. Because Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly, like the yajna, dana, tapa, karmas, different, all kinds of act. Food in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Many times I have mentioned about that. And like that, knowledge and happiness and everything in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. That happiness which looks like nectar in the beginning, but it's poison at the end. So that is in the mode of passion. But that happiness which looks like poison in the beginning, which looks like very difficult in the beginning, but at the end it's a nectar, it's in the mode of goodness. So like that, Krishna is teaching us so much in Bhagavad Gita. So knowledge also in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So everything. So in the 18th chapter, we will study about all those things. So that way, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will understand everything. Sukam idanim trividam sunume bharatarshava. Abhyasad ramate yatra dukkantam cha nigacchati. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about three kinds of happiness, by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. Yattatagre visamiva pariname amirtopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. So that which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first, but poison at the end, is said to be the nature of passion. So Visayendriya Samyogat Yattadagre Amitopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tatsukam Rajasam Smritam. So like that, everything Krishna is teaching us in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So now we are in the 15th chapter, 11th chapter, 15 slokas we finished. But in the 11th chapter now, Arjuna is seeing Krishna's universal form, Visvarupa. So in the Visvarupa, Arjuna, in the 15th sloka, what we studied, Arjuna told Krishna that Arjuna Vacha. So that's what from the 11th chapter, 15th sloka only, Arjuna is explaining about Krishna's Visvarupa. Pasyami devams tava deva dege sarvams tata bhuta visesha sangan brahmanamisam kamalasanastam risimscha sarvan uragamscha divyan. That's what we study. Pasyami devams tava deva dege. Oh Deva, in your dege, in your body, I am seeing all devams. That means all the demigods. I am seeing all the demigods. Pasyami devams tava deva dege. Sarvam sata bhuta vishesha sangan. So all living entities, they are all assembled in a special way. I am seeing, I am able to see that. Sarvam sata bhuta vishesha sangan. Brahmanamisam kamalasanastam. So Lord Brahma sitting in the lotus flower, and also Isa, that is Shiva, Lord Shiva is also I'm seeing. So Rishimsa Sarvan Uragamsa Divyan. All the rishis, all the sages I'm able to see, and many varieties of all serpents, Uragamsa Divyan, divine serpents I'm able to see. So now in the next sloka, sloka number 16, Arjuna is continuing. Aneka Bahudaravat Netram Pasyami Tvam Sarvato Nantarupam Nantam Namadyam Napunastavadim Pasyami Visvesvara Visvarupa. So Arjuna already called Krishna as Yogeshwara, Parameswara, Maheswara. Now he is calling Krishna as Visveswara. So all Iswara is Krishna only. In general, we think that Parameswara means, or Yogeshwara, Parameswara, Maheswara means Lord Shiva. But of course, Krishna himself is Lord Shiva. But here Krishna is directly here. Arjuna is calling Krishna as Visveswara, O Lord of the universe. That's what Visveswara means. Visva means this universe. That's what Viswarupa means, the universal form. So Visva means the universe, Viswarupa means the universal form. So Pasyami Visveswara Viswarupa. O Visveswara, I am able to see your Viswarupa. So in your Viswarupa, what I am seeing? Aneka Bahudara Vaktra Netram. Aneka means many, many. Many, many Bahu, arms. Udara means bellies. Aneka Bahudara Vaktra means mouths. Netram, eyes. So I am able to see many, many arms, bellies, mouths, eyes. Pasyami tvam sarvatonanta rupam. So I'm able to see unlimited. All these forms unlimited, expanded everywhere. So sarvatonanta rupam. And I am not able to see where it begins, where it ends, and where is the middle. I am not able to see. Nantham, Namadyam, Napunascha. So Krishna said that Aham Adischa Madhyam cha Bhutanam Antarevacha. That's what Krishna said. I am the beginning, middle, and end of all the living entities. That's what Krishna said. In the 10th chapter we studied, in the Vibhuti Yoga. Aham Atma Gudakesa Sarvabhuta Sayastitaga Aham Adischa Madhyam cha Bhutanam Antayevacha. So this Adi, Madhyam, all such things, Krishna said that Krishna is the beginning, middle, and end of everything. But here Arjuna is saying that na antam, na madhyam, na punastavadim, pasyami Visveswara, Viswarupa. Oh Visveswara, in your universal form, I don't see where it begins, where it ends, and where it is, where it is the middle, where the middle form of the Viswarupa is. I don't see. It's so much. So that's what Arjuna is explaining about Krishna's Viswarupa. So we are very fortunate to understand about Krishna's Viswarupa here based on what Arjuna is explaining to Krishna. So we have much more to study. As I explained, studied like almost 15, 16 slokas, fully Viswarupa we are going to understand. So we just started, only 2 slokas we just finished. So up to another 30th sloka, we are going to study about Krishna's Viswarupa only. Hare Krishna, I will stop now and we will discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.